MINAZOV Nargis was a heroin addict for 17 years. She's getting treatment at this government health centre in Tajikistan's capital, Dushanbe. Her husband used to smuggle heroin into the country from neighbouring Afghanistan by swallowing sealed bags of the drug.
Many young people are using drugs and going down that road despite knowing they will be sick. I don't understand why no one told me when I started using heroin. We thought heroin was just about enjoying ourselves.
Tajikistan is a front line in the global war on drugs, a war that the international community is struggling to win. In some places along the 1,300-kilometre border with Afghanistan, the villages set among the Pamir Mountains are so close you can see and hear children playing on the other side. The UN estimates around 20% of Afghan drugs pass through Tajikistan to markets around the world. All that separates Afghanistan from Tajikistan, certainly in this region, is the Panj River, which, as you can see in places like this, is literally just a few metres wide. Now, international experts say that despite hundreds of millions of dollars having been spent to try and stop the smuggling of drugs from Afghanistan across this border, the effects, indeed the success of domestic Tajik policies with international assistance has been minimal. Tajikistan's anti-narcotic agency was keen to show us how they deal with the drugs they seize. Bags of opium, hashish blocks, boxes of heroin thrown into an incinerator. The government says more than 3 tons of heroin has been intercepted so far this year.
The amount of drugs trafficked by Tajikistan from Afghanistan is getting lower. This shows Tajikistan is better at controlling the situation.
But the UN Drugs Agency and the US and European governments regularly accuse Tajikistan of not doing enough. The US says it's believed much of the drugs that move through the country do so with the help of corrupt police and government officials. Some international reports estimate drug smuggling accounts for almost a third of Tajikistan's economy. Last year, a record 9,000 tons of opium was produced in Afghanistan, mainly by armed groups, including the Taliban, almost double the amount from 2016. And with little sign of peace in Afghanistan, it's expected Tajikistan will remain a major transit route for drugs on their way to Russia, China and other countries around the world. Stratford, Al Jazeera, on the Tajikistan-Afghanistan border.